What's going on with you?
Not much. Just finishing up my semester this week, and then we'll get new kids on here. New kids next week, for school. So putting together a little leadership group I got a high ropes course at my school that I built, and so I got a bunch of 14-year-old girls coming in a couple of days to do a little team building leadership gig with. So that'll be pretty fun.
That would be a blast.
Oh, it's kick. It's fun. It's good.
Cool.
Yeah, it's always good, man. Stay busy.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
What? How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Good. Just
Coach
us
Young's
three.
gonna be, Coach Young's flying solo on the IT stuff tonight, so we'll see
Oh,
if we can get on.
Uh-oh.
dude.
Leaving him hanging, huh?
I abandoned him. I'm in Texas right now.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
better keep your phone close, brother.
Yeah, that's right here. I guarantee you he'll call.
What are you doing in Texas?
Shooting video of a trapper for, I do a TV show on Pursuit Channel and Wild Canada TV. And I've been working for this guy for 2 years, so doing that. He invented some skinning knives, and he owns a company that's like the #1 snare manufacturer in the world right now. So
Wow. Well, cool. Yeah, my boy loves that. He went on a hunt last year to Texas with a couple of guys, and they shot a bunch of exotics. But he got a video for him, and it was pretty fun. He enjoyed it.
yeah, the guy I used to work for ESPN has a place in Texas where his own place where you can hunt exotics. Tom Miranda.
Okay.
I used to do his show.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I may have to get with you at some point. Pick your brain for Brady. I think you're doing exactly what he's kind of wanted to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there if you're willing to go after it.
Yeah.
Hey, Fred, what's going on, man?
Not too much. How about you, Chad?
It's been a long time.
It has.
I only see you at golf tournaments.
Yep.
Frederick Michael. Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
I didn't see you on here.
I haven't seen Craig Clayberg forever. I just see him winning state championships.
Finally got time to get back on. Been busy.
Good to see you on, Craig. I started following you when my wife's cousin, Dalton Hone, was playing for you.
Yep. Yeah, that was a good group too. That was my first year down here.
Yeah, those were a bunch of good guys. We were at quite a few games into you actually that year.
Yeah.
Big Folkers, how are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
Those Steelers, man.
Oh,
Aren't they playing this weekend?
yeah.
Maybe a
Basketball.
I'm watching reruns of Super Bowl like 13 or something.
Yeah. Well, they beat my Seahawks, what, 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah, I remember that one well. That was good. We fumbled and almost lost the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still hoping they're gonna play anyway.
Is Roethlisberger going to come back?
I'm thinking he's gonna retire and we're gonna pick up the Clemson quarterback, but everyone tells me no.
Mhm.
We'll see though. He may come back for one more. Pick up that kid from North Dakota.
You just signed the Washington cast off, the guy that goes to strip bars after they lose.
Yeah.
No, I think they're going to trade up and what's that young boy's name from North Dakota?
Carson Wentz.
No, the good one, the one that's there
The good
now.
one.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm sad, but I guess I'm over it.
You better get over
I kind of have to be.
it. Yeah.
So it's good to see you, Rick.
Yeah, you too, brother.
Who else we got on here? I don't know if I know Fred.
It was a year after, I think, you.
Okay.
Or two.
Okay.
He was a couple years after you, I suppose.
Be back in the 70s, folkers.
Oh yeah, back in the early 50s when we wore leather.
Lamont.
No
You
face
still
mask.
wear leather, Folkers.
I still wear leather, leather face mask. I wear it all.
Lamont Carrington.
What's going on?
Good to see
Nice.
you, man.
Good to be seen. Good to see everybody as well. Look at Brian Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long, long time.
Yes, indeed it has.
Yeah. Clayburg, I haven't seen you forever.
Look at
Been a
Chad.
long time, yep.
Clayburg, where you at?
I'm in T, South Dakota,
T. Okay.
right south of Sioux Falls.
Coaching football,
Yep.
huh? All right. Did I hear state championship?
Yeah, we won the state this year. Yeah.
Oh,
Good season.
you and Garrow, good night.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a good thing going over there.
Yeah.
Going on, Coach Anderson?
Guys,
Good to see you.
absolutely.
I'd have to call Coach Young and see how he's doing.
He's gross.
So Lamont, what are you up to? What do you do?
Let me unmute. I've been in sales the last 20 plus years. So married to Beth Blackburn, who we met at Sioux Falls College, University of Sioux Falls.
All right.
So 2 boys. I'm a granddad. Worked for AT&T for the last 22 years.
Good
So
for you.
life is good. Can't complain at all.
Where are you at?
I just pushed
Um, I'm back in. I'm just
You on it?
outside Atlanta, south of the airport.
Okay.
So I just I finished up coaching. I was coaching at the high school for the last 6 years, 2 years ago, but I had to give that up because I have my youngest son plays at Presbyterian. It's an FCS school here in South Carolina. So, and I needed to go give him support. He has 2 more years to go. He's a red shirt senior now, and they're about to start the fall. So he just got engaged over the holiday, and he's gonna finish up and see what he's gonna do. If he can find somebody to pay for his masters.
Oh, cool.
So
Get everybody on it.
Yeah, my brother's with Comcast in Atlanta. So he's
yeah, this is my AT&T. I usually log on to Zoom. I have my Zoom calls with my offices that I support. So my Zoom login has AT&T, so people know who I represent.
gotcha.
Where's Alex? What's up, Brian Brooks?
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good. How you been?
I've been good.
Hi, everybody.
These McNabs talk about you frequently.
Who?
McNabs. You remember the McNabs? Terry, Jennifer.
Probably. I am shitty with the name. You know me. Yeah.
They'd always talk about you in the apartment, and you'd come down and you'd harass them.
Oh, yeah. So how's Douglas, where you're at?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's going well.
In Zimmer's at Natrona, Zim?
Yeah, buddy.
So
Been there a
you're
long
just-
time.
Yeah, so you're coaching over there track and football?
Just football right now.
Oh, yeah, varsity?
Yeah, I made it easy on myself and just stuck with
Is it
football.
was Herman still head coach?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
is he?
Yeah, a lot of us have been there for 20. This is my 30th year there. His 31st. So it's been a long time.
Yeah, we're getting old. How you doing, Jeff Folkers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What?
I'm doing good. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clayburg's on, Eddie, and geez. That's a neat. Nice to see you guys all. It's always been fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen you for a while, Jay.
Yeah, we're just getting all old.
You
Yeah.
are.
Huh?
You are.
And there's Bobby. Ebert. Holy cow, we got a lot of people on. Hey, Coach Anderson.
Coach.
I'm glad your son's doing well.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh-huh. Hey, Alex.
What's up, Jay?
Miss you, man. I haven't
I
talked to you.
I see you're keeping the weight off, my friend.
Oh no, I'm gonna try to gain that 1,000 pounds so I can be on the TV show. TLC, whatever it is, you know.
You'd just be a round little ball then.
Oh, I don't think I could walk. I couldn't even walk now, so no matter. Yeah. So, Chad, what are you doing down in Texas?
Shooting a coyote and bobcat trapper.
You
Been-
trap?
I don't. They do. I got a camera. So we caught 4 coyotes, a gray fox, 3 raccoons, and a possum today in traps.
And what do you do with them?
They kept the coyotes and the gray fox. The other ones kind of became bait.
Send them to my house. I eat them.
Running.
Hey, Clay, congratulations on a great success season at T.
Thanks, Coach.
You're doing a hell of a job over there. Proud of you.
Oh, I'm batching it too much. I got too much other stuff housework to do here. I got carried away on it. So anyway,
Good to see you, Coach.
it's a good thing Chad called me. I've been washing my towels yet or something. Oh, it's different. Is that Lamont Carrington? Lamont?
I'm talking on mute, Coach. Yes, sir. How you doing?
God,
I didn't even
there's a lot of you
recognize you.
guys on here that I've seen for a while. Holy cow. I've seen that Jay Sim, I recently.
We see each other too much, Coach, huh?
I could just barely hear you, Jay. You got to turn up your volume.
I know we see way too much.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Oh. Sure
There's
good to
Mark
see all you
Hansen.
guys. Scott Ebert. Hi, Scott.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How's everything in Watchdogville?
We're busy.
How's your girls doing down there?
We're learning. Lots to
Learning?
learn. Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do as a coach. Teach them.
It's not about effort. It's just a lot of learning yet. So
Okay. Big Ken's on tonight too, I see, and we got Wild Bill down here. Holy cow. It's good to see all you guys. Coach Anderson,
Hi, Coach.
Fred Prater, golly. How long has it been since we've seen Fred? Have you got a facial beard or something, Fred?
I got something, Coach.
Carrington, you had to get one like Carrington's got here. I don't know, does Kester have one or not? I can't tell.
I don't think Ed can grow one.
Hey,
He will
I've grown 3 different beards during this pandemic.
Zimmer, I suppose you got a beard, don't you?
No, well, I tried to because it's all falling out on top, Coach. So it's just relocating a little bit.
Oh, golly. Where's Brian Brooks? Is he on tonight or not? Well, there he is. I found you. Hi, Brian. Are you ready to take charge, Brian? Are you hearing me, Brian?
Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of multitasking. My daughter's
Oh, you are?
playing South
That's-
Dakota Tech or something right now, and they're just about wrapped up. So I'm not paying close attention. So
I was multitasking too. I was washing my dishes. But I can only do one thing at a time. I made myself a tuna hot dish, tuna fish casserole tonight. Can you believe that, guys? It's amazing how good it turned out. But it took me a while. That's why I'm running late.
Coach Young,
Yep.
I made crab cakes tonight.
Crab cakes.
Yeah, you just put crab in some pancake.
Is that right? I've got some Abel's-Keever up in the refrigerator. Have you ever heard of that? None of you are Danish in this group, right? Kleiberg, are you Danish or what are you? German?
Norwegian.
Norwegian. Oh, yay. Isn't that where Ole came from? Sven? Oh, gosh. Well, Brian, are you still multitasking or not?
well, they got 15 seconds. I'm good if you're ready.
15 seconds?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll give you 15 seconds.
they're losing by 7, so I don't think they're gonna pull it off in 15 seconds. So
Where's your daughter go to school at, Brian?
she's at Shadron State,
Oh, okay.
Nebraska.
What grade she in?
Well, she should have graduated this year, but she blew her knee out and had a red shirt year, and then this year doesn't count. So she's actually only I think she'll be coming back next year as a junior. So yeah, she's still got some time. I don't know that she's going to play all 4 years. She's kind of getting beat up, but
I'll save her money, just graduate.
I know. Well, they're paying her, but she's thinking about starting her master's program next year. So
Okay.
that'll be good. But yeah, so
Good.
Rojas, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, sir. How about yourself?
Where are you anyway? What's that in your background?
Well, it's one of my trophy rooms.
Oh,
Actually, my home office here. So, but it's
what animals do you have on the wall there anyway?
up there's a kudu, a red stag, let me see, a red lechwe. I think there's a buck up there, some bush buck, something else. Let me see. And fallow deer and a bunch of other ones up here. Quite a few of them in here.
Have you got that South Dakota buffalo hanging there somewhere?
It's out in the garage.
Oh,
It don't fit. It don't fit in the house.
your wife.
I got all the
probably
big ones. All the big ones are hanging out in the garage.
Your wife probably said it's either you or the buffalo. You had to choose one or the other, huh?
Yeah. Now she just says that I can only take pictures. No more. I've run out of places to put them.
Okay.
So I got 3 rooms full of them.
Hi, Brad Schroeder. Good to see you. Mark Hansen, you guys, my 2 offensive guards side by side here. We ought to, I don't know whatever happened to the center we have to have in here, but I don't see him on ever.
Yeah, we
Who
kicked
my
him.
favorites right there.
Woo yelled at him too much, so we had to get rid of him. So
Are you ready, Brian?
yeah, I'm ready if you guys are.
Well, you started off with that. If you guys probably read today, but we kind of asked Brian, and they've got a kind of a unique situation with a bunch of his buddies that are on here tonight, and what they do. I'll let him tell you about it. But kind of ever since they've been in college together, so we just asked Brian to kind of share about it. I think it's part of the reason we do the One Team Fellowship is to kind of grow together, and they learned to do that some time ago. So anyway, Brian, I'm going to let you tell them the rest. Okay, you can take it from there and introduce the other guys that are with you here tonight.
I think Freddie's here. Ebert is on. Jason Oswald was supposed to get on.
He's gone.
Unless he had
He's on, Brian.
He is? Okay.
He just got on.
If he had a cattle emergency, he wouldn't be here. But Damon Olson's part of that crew. He's not able to, I don't think. Joel Tucker was part of that crew. He's a beached whale on a Florida beach somewhere. So I don't know. He's vacationing. And then Jay Eidsness, I think he's on for a little bit. So hopefully we'll get to hear from him. He had a basketball game he's going to. But anyway, Coach just asked if I could kind of share about some of the relationships that formed in Sioux Falls and how it happened. And for those that don't know, I guess my Sioux Falls story started 32 years ago when Coach showed up with his cute little recruiter and convinced me to come to Sioux Falls over Black Hills. And I guess the rest was history. That first year I was there, a couple of guys on the football team, actually Sprolsey was my roommate there for a while, and I got some fun stories about Sproles. But Ron Hayes and Mike Wortham, kind of at the end of that year, you guys heard from Ron last time, but Mike Wortham played for a year, and coincidentally enough, those two guys ended up in Douglas shortly after I did, and it's been kind of fun. We've been able to raise our families together, and to this day our kids are close to best friends, and the three couples of us have really experienced some of the worst and some of the best together in Douglas here, so that's been kind of neat. But when I got to college, I don't know, some of you may know, but I was kind of an arrogant, self-centered kid, and I ended up flunking out that first year of college and ended up back home at a community college to get my grades up so that I can get scholarships back and go play football. So, but when I got back, God just put another group of guys in my life. And so for 30 years, really, we've been living life together. Unfortunately, sometimes further away than we'd like, but Joel, Scott, Jason, Freddie, Damon, Jay, all of our families have been connected since then. So, we every year for 25 years, I think we've been going to the Black Hills. Fred and Amy's family have some property out there, and we get together every summer, regardless of winter, and we show up, and I'll probably speak for all of us and most of our 22 kids, but the time we spend together every summer is probably the highlight of our year. So, I don't know. I got a few little short stories of all the years together, but there was one time Jason took the boat out and got it off the docks, put it in the water, took off, and ended up in the middle of the lake, about sunk. We forgot to put the plug in. So that was fun. Freddie, probably one of our best was Freddie's bonfire behind the house. It was the middle of July, and if the whole South Dakota was crisp, and he decided to start the fire, and the fire was literally over the top of the 2-story house, and we all got sunburned just from the flames. And coincidentally enough, we had neighbors from a mile away rush in on 4-wheelers trying to help us put the fire out. So Joel Tucker, you guys, some of you know Joel. Joel's 6'4", what is he, 245 pounds probably. We've kind of experienced the eighth wonder of the world when he jumped through a kiddie tube that was probably, I don't know, 16, 18 inches wide. And just, yeah, we've had just some fun nights, all nights playing games and conversations, golfing in hot springs, and rattlesnake hunting, and, you know, volleyball and can jam, and, you know, cornhole tournaments. So it's just been a fun 25 years living life with those guys. And, you know, I guess the best part of all of that is that, you know, I know that those guys would do anything. They'd sacrifice anything for the rest of the group. And so, yeah, it's just been fun living life with them. We texted, you know, last week or the week before, and just, you know, really appreciate, all of us kind of appreciate how each has invested in each other's lives over the year. You know, Coach kind of asked, hey, can you add something spiritual to it? And I thought, you know, it's kind of, his timing was kind of interesting. I've been kind of doing a Bible study with some guys at church, and it's been on fellowship and, you know, relationships. And so it said it was kind of timely that this all came down. But, you know, I know that God's created us to need and really thrive in genuine, you know, and intimate, I shouldn't say intimate in front of a bunch of football players, but, or call our relationships intimate, but really that's what it is. And I think God's called us to that. You know, our natural tendency is to shy away from those types of things. We don't like accountability. You know, we tend to be pretty superficial in our relationships. And I look back at my life and I think about how Satan's attacked me over the years, and it's been times when I've kept others at a distance from me. So I've typically, you know, been worse spiritually when I've isolated myself from others. You know, I after sin, I've covered it up. I've, you know, done it in dark places over the years when nobody's around. You know, when I'm on the battlefield by myself, I end up losing most of the time. So I just, I know that, you know, when I have close guys, and these guys have been that for me, when I've got them on my back, they're taking care of me, they're sharing burdens with me, they're holding me accountable, they're praying for me, and they go to battle with me. Life seems to be a whole lot better. Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. And it doesn't talk about fluffy pillows, relationships that are like fluffy pillows, but, you know, one's iron sharpening iron. And, you know, the last 30 years, these guys have been helping me sharpen myself spiritually. I think there's a special connection there. You know, we started 30 years ago in different places spiritually, and God has really, you know, over the last 30 years brought us all to a place where every guy is trusting in the Lord. You know, they've committed their life, their family to Christ, and that's given us a connection that is unique. For probably 20 years of my life, I struggled with pornography to some degree or another. I nearly had an affair with a buddy's wife, and it was during those times that when I was in those dark places, you know, hiding my sin, that, you know, I can remember Ebert and Jay, we went to a men's conference together, and I started sharing some of those things with some of these guys. And I just appreciate their willingness to, you know, humble themselves, come alongside me, and get dirty and fight that battle with me. Fred over the years, you know, Jay, Jace, all of them, Jason, Joel, Damon, we've just had opportunity to do that. And I know it was because of these guys that, you know, God freed me from that sin. And our relationship's grown even deeper because of it. So anyway, that's kind of it in a nutshell. I just, you know, I'm encouraged by these guys. It's fun seeing all of you guys. I know that as men, sometimes we get on an island of isolation, and you know, we don't want people to know how bad life is, or you know, how ugly it can be at times. And so I want to encourage you guys. I'm encouraged by Coach Young and Rem helping him get this one team fellowship going. You know, I think it's opened up doors for a lot of us to reconnect, and I've heard some of the guys doing Bible studies together on Zoom, and I think that's awesome. And if there's, you know, if anybody's going through some of that stuff and they need to talk, get a hold of me. We can connect. And anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'll turn it over to some of the other guys. I see Scott, you're on my screen, so you want to go? I know do you have a basketball, or Jay, maybe Jay's going to a basketball game.
I don't know if I see Jay on here right now.
You're not there anymore? All
No,
right.
I think to piggyback off of Brian and not repeat everything, I just think something that's, you know, it's certainly us guys that forged that bond in college, and you guys all know that because a lot of you were teammates in your era. You know that bond that you create with players when you're battling like that. And I think what makes it unique and different, not only the span of time, but because obviously all similar in age. You know, my parents are connected, so it's deeper than us guys and our wives, but it's our parents, maybe a little different from the guys from Wyoming. But as far as us traveling to football games, and a lot of our parents created the same type of network. And a little bit trickier at times, maybe at their age and where they're at in life, but yet our kids, you know, I think as much as the trip means a lot to us as the adults, I think I know for a fact, I have 4 daughters and 2 go to USF now. And it means probably more to my girls that we go to the cabin. Coaching 3 sports, we don't do a lot, you know, we don't get a lot of vacation time in the summer just because that's a busy time for coaches and whatnot. But we do our very best to make sure that span of time, whenever that is, and it bounces around from year to year when we make that trip. And that email just came out, I think, Brian and guys, it just came out this week. Ironically, I think the cabin, and it's Fred's wife, Amy. She sends the email, and then the wives kind of go to work on that. I never respond to any of that because I kind of let my wife handle that. But I think our kids, I'm telling you what, it's incredible, man. I mean, it's I don't know, what is it, guys? Is it 20 some kids? And if we can all be there, I mean, it's unbelievable. Obviously it's the only thing like that I've ever experienced. But from my parents to our age, all the way through our kids, and our kids are all very similar in ages, you know, between, I think, Jason and Fred, myself, and Damon, our kids are very close in age, and Brian, so they're friends, you know, and some are at State and some are at Augie and some are at USF, and they're kind of scattered at Shattern, but yet you can come together that weekend in July or in June, and the parents, of course, are going to basically pick up, you know, kind of like it was just the week prior that we were there. And there's always that warm-up period amongst the kids, and my girls talk about that it's always a little bit awkward to start, but it's really sad when they have to leave, you know, on that Sunday or whatever that day is for that return trip. So I don't know. It's just, I use the word that comes to my mind is it's just kind of forged. And it forged about every age gap there that you could kind of think of. So it is pretty unique and pretty special. So.
Freddie or Jason?
Yeah, I would echo everybody's comments on that. You know, for me, going to Sioux Falls College, USF, I guess I needed it from the point that I was in my life. I kind of had my midlife crisis, and that was about the time I transferred into USF. And I'd grown up in a split household. My mom was Catholic, my dad was Mormon, and I had no clue about these crazy Christians, and I definitely didn't have a clue how to live my life as a Christian. So I was fortunate to develop friendships with these guys, to see how you live your life, see how you make the decisions. When we got out of undergrad, it was probably about a year after we graduated, we decided to meet up in the Black Hills, and it's made that weekend an annual thing. You know, there's been a few that have missed here or there. Big Brian and I might be the two that made every single weekend, every year, or every single year. But it's kind of crazy. It's a 3-bedroom house, and we've had 30 plus kids and parents in there. And so it's kind of a crazy weekend when we get there. The old days starting off before anybody had any kids. Stay up all night, telling stories, laughing. Now we're all getting to that point. We might see those days again. I would imagine not too far away from some grandkids starting to show up. Brooks might lead the way in that, huh?
We'll see.
To be determined. But yeah, it is. Yeah, without USF, I mean, there would be none of the relationships for me. So I'm very grateful to these guys and that experience.
Fred, you don't still hold a grudge because we had to send you home that first year, do you?
Oh, it's kind of softened over the years. In hindsight, you can see how God works in your life.
Phyllis Thompson and I still remember that, and that was one of the hardest things, you know, to tell you were going to be ineligible and you wouldn't be able to play that first year. So anyway.
Yeah. Kirby Wilcoxon was on that eligibility committee too. And so I've been able to maintain a relationship with him. And so I give him a hard time about that all the time.
Thanks for forgiving me.
Anytime, Coach.
Big O.
I guess the only thing that I can maybe add that hasn't been talked about is that, besides probably Jay and Damon, the rest of us kind of took a non-traditional way there. Scott and I started a different school and ended up there, and Brian and Fred were there and left and back again. But through all of that, we still ended up getting together, and I don't know if we hit it off so well because Jay and I discovered if we were going to run the ball all the time, the only way we'd have a chance to maybe throw some is to convince all these DBs to let us catch one every once in a while or what. But it's interesting how most of the guys are DBs and just a couple offensive guys in the bunch. But no, it's been a great time over the years, just not only getting to know each other, but spend time with our families and how our well, some of our wives went to school together, but some of them didn't. And they are maybe as good, or if not better friends in some circumstances than us guys are. The gals on this side of the Sioux Falls area, at least, will get together every once in a while and go for supper. So there's all sorts of things still going on, and started just with a crazy game of football. So it's really kind of cool.
I don't know that we have anybody else on here, Coach. I think Jay was on for a short time, and then he might be at his
Ball game.
Yeah, his daughter had a game.
Yeah, we'll forgive him.
He used to make fun of us for always running around like that. I said, "You wait there, dude. You wait. Your time's coming." Now he runs like crazy too.
How's farm life, Jason?
Pretty hard to complain with the weather we've had. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Have a good crop this year?
Yeah. Yep. It was a good crop. So yeah, we've been pretty blessed here lately. Hard to believe we have mud to deal with in January. That's kind of the crazy part of everything, but that's all right. I enjoy the warm weather.
It's going to cool down, so next few days you'll find out that winter is back.
Yeah, you're right. I will. I'll have those curled up fingertips that I can't feel again, I'm sure. So
Why don't you share with the guys a little bit how you made that decision to leave teaching, coaching, and going back to the farm? Why don't you just tell us about it?
that's kind of a long story. I'll see if I can give a revised version of it. I guess I got an education degree from USF, and I taught and coached. I started in my hometown of Viborg for 3 years, and then I moved down here to Yankton, and I was there for 13 years. And I guess all along through all of that, I was close to home, and my dad was farming, and it was only depending on where I was, but it was about a half hour away. So I was always helping Dad because he always needed help. And as time went on, he was always dangling carrots for me for that I should come and help him all the time. And I was enjoying what I was doing, teaching and coaching and doing that thing. Well, then the last few years, for whatever reason, I started having some heart issues. And long story short, I've got AFib, and I got it in my late 30s. And it's usually people that get it that are much, much older than that. And for whatever reason, it started when I would exercise, and all of a sudden I started losing my breath and couldn't figure out what was wrong. And then it started acting up when I was coaching. And so they started having me wear a monitor or whatever, because they couldn't figure out what it was because it was so intermittent when it would happen. So I remember we played in Aberdeen, and that's about a 5-6 hour trip from Yankton. Got home from the game about 3 a.m. and I hadn't felt well. So I don't remember how I had to plug the machine into the phone in the wall, I think is how I submitted what was going on. And within 5 minutes, I had a phone call from a doc in the ER, said I needed to come in right now. And anyway, that's how I got diagnosed. And for whatever reason, the coaching aggravated it for some reason or another. I loved it to death, but I continued to have troubles, and I couldn't find any medication that would square it away. And Dad kept, as I said, kind of twisting my arm that I should come and help him. So everything kind of lined up that that'll be 10 years ago this coming spring. I quit teaching, and I live in town and drive 30 miles to the farm every day, which is kind of nuts, but that's the life I live. So my kids still go to the same school and everything that they did before. And it's been good. I mean, I always enjoyed coaching. I still miss coaching, but I've enjoyed being a dad, and I've gotten to do a lot more of that. As you guys that are coaches know, you have to sacrifice some of that somewhat. So it's been good. I've enjoyed what I'm doing, and I get to see my mom and dad every day. So I'll take the positives of that, and it's been a good time.
Do you have any girls playing basketball this year?
No, I got, my oldest daughter I got to swear at the moment, is at Augie. She's a nursing student, and my second one is a freshman at USF. She's on the soccer team there. And then I have a son that's a sophomore in high school. So
You got one good smart daughter anyway there, right?
that's right. That's right. They're both smart. We just question her decision, but no, it's been a very good place for her. I have to admit, it's been good for her there. So
I'll have to tell you, Jason was definitely, we were running kind of a special offense back in the days of running the option when Jay was the quarterback, and Jason was our blocking. You see them use the tight ends nowadays for blocking purposes, and Jay was usually leading the quarterback and the running back out, and he many times took out two guys at a time, and I'm glad that he didn't get any brain damage or anything, but I don't think we hurt his heart, but he was one of the toughest blocking tight ends, even though he wasn't real heavy. He had the height and everything, but certainly one of the better blockers we've ever had in our program. So thank you, Jason, for doing that. So I saw your brother sent me a picture from Florida. Really rubs it in down there, doesn't he?
yeah, he's living quite the dream. That's for sure.
He's kind of up in that, what do you call that area up there?
I don't know, panhandle or whatever. I don't know what you call it.
But he has a picture of his family on the beach. I know that. So
yeah,
anyway,
they're having a good time down there. That's for sure.
Tell your mom and dad hi from the old coach, will you?
I will do that. I will do that.
Rem,
Hey,
what
Coach,
do you got
Coach,
to say
this
tonight,
is
Rem?
Adam. Hey, Coach, this is Adam Nelson.
Oh, Adam. Okay.
Yeah. I can tell you I was on the receiving end of Big O's blocking several times, usually on my back. But I'm going to talk from outside the circle here. Didn't know I was there. It would have been most of those guys as a senior and junior year. Fred was gone and Brian was gone, and I didn't know a couple of the other guys, but just come in as a freshman. Jay was there, Jason was there, Damon was there, Scott was there. Not sure who else. I might be missing somebody, but from a leadership role, this group of guys was huge, I think, for our football program, and just coming in and just having those guys that were solid in their faith, were guys that would reach out, not afraid to put you under their wing, and I think that was huge as a program, I would say, from my perspective. And I really appreciate that. I mean, like Jason Oswald, I mean, it was just kind of cool how things develop, you know. I'm best friends with his brother now. You know, I coach with Ebert now. Damon's son, I was able to coach him. So it's just awesome how God works those things out and stuff like that. But I just think their leadership role, that group of guys, and even before that, when Fred and Brian were there, was a big thing for the coup program at that time.
Went through some yucky years though to get there. From wins and losses, if that means anything.
And we all know that's not always the key thing.
Yeah, I think I said it last time. I think Lamont, Fred, was it you and me and Lamont? I don't know who else was that year, but I still, when I'm listening to games or watching games, they go back to that last losing season like 50 years ago, and that was my senior year. So that's the legacy I got to leave.
I always tell Tim Hyatt when I see him that they need to stop giving some of those stats before the games, because it's always, oh, in 1993 was the last time this happened, or 1993. I just tell him, you got to quit talking about that. He laughs at me.
It was a tough year though. That was an injured, riddled year, boy. Curtis Riggs was playing DB. I mean, it was, yeah, I think Britt, I think he made it through. We had Brent Becker back. I mean, that was a tough haul. We really were beat up and certainly don't control a lot of things. And that's one of them, was injuries. So you grew a lot, you learned a lot, kind of set that 94 thing up and kind of got things righted. And then the rest was history.
And 93, I even got coach to break his clipboard over my helmet because I didn't know what the dive key was. So
Didn't you have to pick up a few ear pads out of your helmet too?
yeah, probably. That's probably more too. So Lamont, did you what's your overlap with some of these guys? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, with Brian, Clayberg. My freshman year, I think it was Ed Kester's senior year.
Yep.
So, yeah, definitely Folkers. Who was it? Folkers, and there were two linemen that had a little conversation with me my freshman year, probably about after game 2. Because as Brian said, I came in and I wanted to play. I was a little cocky and I wanted to add and I thought I could play. And they set me straight. So the Baker brothers. So we had a really good time. It was a great time, and we helped build the right path. And hopefully there's a lot of players that came after me that I taught them what not to do. So
You were one of the few two-way players, though, weren't you?
yes, sir. You put me in the backfield. I think I had 10 touchdowns in '93. So led the team in touchdowns and tackles.
Oh, I don't know. Didn't we find you through Tim Heupel or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was Tim Heupel, and I had a Coach Roth, who he was a running backs coach at my high school here in Fayetteville, Georgia, and he reached out and sent some film. And I came up and visited, and it was the right place at the right time. So it really set me up and helped me become the man and father and friend and brother that I am today. And I definitely was not that young man when I first came in, but it helped pave the way to make me into a much better man than I would have been without the coup.
Thank you. That's good. Great comment. Great comment. Thank you.
So thank you, Coach, and you definitely helped mold it, because we had many conversations as you drove me around, getting me out of the trouble that I was getting into. So,
Anybody else identify with that? Don't you say anything, Steve Young. You remember any of these guys?
At least these guys had helmets on with Nate when the clipboard came down at home. Get a lot of broken clipboards around the house.
Oh, don't bring that in now. They'll think they lost all respect for me right now. Jay Sim, what do you want to add to were you there when Lamont played? Jay?
You got on mute.
You're muted, Jay.
Sleeping. Jay was coaching.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
oh yeah, Jay, Coach Wood was our defensive coordinator. We had to talk him into the all-out blitz, and we wanted to run it every down.
That's why we had to put him over on offense.
And the teams did not know what to do when we blitzed every single play. They had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, it was us, Bill and I. That was our number one play. Hey, Coach, let's go. Send us off.
Let's go.
unmute it and say something, Jay. You must have something in your brain there that you're thinking.
He's thinking about get the pizza chopping is what he's thinking about right now.
Bill, did you and Lamont play together?
Absolutely, Coach. Yeah.
Were you about the same age, Ray? I couldn't remember. I thought it was about that age.
He had a year or two after me. My last football season was in 91. I graduated in 92. So I think he had a couple more, or one more at least. I can't remember. When did you graduate, Lamont?
I think it was 90. Well, I graduated a year after I was finished playing. So I think that was 93. So
Okay.
Yeah, it was 93. I got married in 95. So with that, yeah, we had a great season together. It was good. We enjoyed
That was fun,
ourselves.
man. That was
So,
fun, dude.
And I remember Coach Young, the one personal foul I got, I ran and I hit the quarterback out of bounds up in Huron. And I never did it again because when we got back, he made me do up downs every 5 yards on the practice field, all the way down the field and back. So I
That's
had
right.
zero personal fouls after that. I used that technique a couple of times, Coach. It rid them of their personal fouls. So it
Yeah.
definitely worked. I stole that from you.
It was definitely
I thought
justifiable.
personal fouls against Huron were allowed.
That's true. I thought they were too. I didn't know he'd get in trouble for that.
Well, at least the practice field was only 40 yards long, so that's not too many up downs.
It was end zone to end zone, though. Back in the end zone. So
Clayburg, do you remember anything about those guys?
Yeah, those guys. And then you throw Ryan Miller into the mix. That was not good.
Oh.
Yeah, Anthony McQuell. Yeah, those guys were fun.
That's right.
Good group.
Yep, Roniel.
Roniel, yeah.
Yep, James Cunningham.
I see James
we
quite a
came-
bit at basketball games.
Yep, and I came in at the end. Tony Rowe was a senior when we came in too.
Right.
Tony and Gene Lind.
Yep.
Gene Lind.
And Keith was in Jerry Mustin. Jerry was there before I was there and before Bill was there. Jerry was the man.
Yeah, he was pretty good linebacker.
Yes, indeed.
He was
You-
he was really a natural linebacker.
He had a heck of a tackle in front of him that took out a couple guys.
Oh, I knew that there was some reason for that. And I couldn't remember the name of that tackle though.
Yeah, I can't either, but he was really exceptional.
I know I have to commend Ralph Duke because without Ralph Duke, I wouldn't have half the tackles I had. So
Yeah, he demanded a 3-man block. That's for sure.
Yes, you did.
We funny story. Remember Keith Windroth, because he was there the first year I came up because I was a JC transfer, and Keith Windroth was there. And the funniest story ever was he was playing linebacker the first year. I was playing defensive end, and I was wrapping somebody up and I was swinging him down to the ground. And Keith came and he was, that's back when you used your helmet, I think. And we went helmet to helmet. And Keith, we always made fun of him because he's from Montana, but he sounded like a surfer. And we hit head to head, and his eyes rolled back of his head when we ran head to head. I was looking right at him, and he said, "Dude," and he knocked out. It was the funniest thing in the world. But I was concerned for a second, but he did wake up eventually. So, but the surfer from Montana said, "Dude," when he got knocked out. It was pretty classic. But I remember Brian Brooks and all of those guys. Obviously, it was fun. That was a good group of guys, and we were all intertwined in there for a while. It was fun. I was only there for 2 years, but I sure enjoyed my time with all these guys. So it's great seeing them all on Zoom tonight, Coach.
Big Ken, were you in there at all? This bunch?
Yeah, it's good to hear all the stories for sure. I wasn't involved in most of that stuff. I was just reading my Bible and leading Bible studies and stuff. So, I didn't get involved with too much of that stuff. No, it was, those are good years. Those are great years and love hearing the stories. Folkers, I came in that 89 too, with Lamont. And I remember one of the practices I don't know why I always think about this, but there was one practice where I had redshirted because of academics and couldn't play my first year, but I could practice. And so I used every practice almost like a game, and go as hard as I can. And I know I hit Folkers one time in his side, and he kind of pulled me over to the side when everybody else is huddling up. And he's like, "Hey, you don't work that hard in practice. What are you doing working this hard and hitting me that hard? You don't need to hit that hard in practice. We do that in games. So when you get to play someday, you can work that hard, but don't hit me that hard in practice." And so he brought me up well, and Duncan and some of those guys. So a lot of good memories of those linemen and being with all of them.
All right, I got to share a story about Kenny. Our freshman year, we were roommates. Well, a couple of stories. My folks come in like for the first game, and we've already spent, the fall practice and 3-a-days or whatever. My folks come into our dorm room, and Kenny's got an 18-inch fan sitting in front of the door on a dresser with the door open, and he's got his whitey tighties hanging over the fan because he had just done his laundry, and there's racing stripes running down the back of the whitey tighties. And both, if you guys remember his whitey tighties, he had them slit up the side of his leg because they didn't fit. So my mom walked in and she just about died, and she says, I'm so sorry. I'm going to clean your guys' room. She felt so bad. And then another time we had, if you guys remember, during the Cougar week, homecoming week, we would have those dart games where you'd run around campus and you'd shoot people with darts. Well, a guy hid in Kenny's dirty laundry closet and was hiding underneath it. Kenny went in and took a shower, and Kenny comes back in nothing but a towel, and the towel obviously doesn't fit him very well. And this dude jumps out from underneath the laundry, and Ken takes off running down. We were down at the end of the hallway, and he takes off running buck naked down the dorm hallway in the middle of the day, and ends up getting tagged right in the rear end. Got a nice little red spot on the backside. But anyway, yeah, we had some good times together.
I know we had some wrestling matches, and Brooksy thought that he was gonna take me out wrestling and beat me up in the hallway. He was all pissed about something. I don't know. He was all fired up, and yeah, that was interesting trying to wrestle in the hallway with him. So
he dragged me into the room, sat on top of me, and held me down until I lost my temper. It was like 5 minutes. I ain't letting you up until you calm down.
Yeah,
I'll kill you. But yeah, I finally calmed down.
Good times.
Steve, were you in charge of Burgess at that time?
Let's see, I was Burgess probably 88 to 91, somewhere in there.
Yeah, you were for part of that for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was an RA under you. I might have been.
Yeah, I think you were
Yeah.
for at least a year, maybe.
Yeah, I think you talked to me and just said you got to like write up a citation or something. You've been an RA for a year and haven't busted anybody for anything.
You know, the funniest thing was
Burgess,
the one summer when they decided to do summer housing in Burgess, and they had guys on the first floor and they had girls on the second floor. And I tell you what, about halfway through the summer, you couldn't believe how different that dorm smelled. My rounds, I'd walk down the lower floor and then I'd come back second floor. I'm like, man, I've never smelled this before in a men's dorm. It smelled a little different than you guys did. They had their nice little potpourri and everything going, but those are good years.
I tell you who that was. That was Keith Winderoth. His feet were the nastiest. I couldn't even walk into his room. I was thinking about Kenny, your brother, Craig, probably one of the first practices we were playing O against D, and I went through the line, and your brother leg whipped me. He leg whipped me, and he was just kicking on the ground still after he's done, and I thought he broke my shin. That's the first time going against your brother. And next time I just punched it. That's all I did, was just punch at him that whole, because my leg hurt so bad. So that was one of those cheap things they teach down in Holdridge, Nebraska, how to leg whip. Boy, I tell you what though, I was glad I went to the other side. That hurt. And Steve, didn't you kick for us?
I was, so Alex Rojas and I came in the same time. In fact, I came in weighing about 120 pounds freshman year, 1980. So we graduated 84. And so I kicked those 4 years. But my first entry into Burgess Hall was opening that side door, going down that first floor hallway. And the first two guys I come across, and I'm just this little pipsqueak, is these two mean looking dudes from Florida, Alex Rojas and Joe Fazy, come walking side. I don't even know how you guys were side by side in that hallway. And I'm surprised he even let me through. But Alex looked a little mean back then. He's such a sweet guy right now, but.
You comment, Alex?
They did strike the fear in me, I'll tell you what. I'm glad they weren't trying to block my field goals.
Now that you mentioned Lazy Joe Fazy, he's like a world-renowned chef.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a world-renowned chef. The guy like cooks like exotic foods. People fly him around the world to cook for him. I mean, he was that big, but so I hadn't heard that name in a long time. We used to call him Lazy Joe Fazy.
I heard he was chefing.
Yeah, probably eating most of what he chefs, but still chefing.
So we're talking about confessions and things like that. So Jay Woo, it's time to come clean. You were a senior, I was a freshman. We were rooming together for 2 days.
Oh, bless.
And you couldn't practice for a week or a week and a half because your feet were all torn up. And I've been wondering for 35 years, because you never did tell me the truth. So you're going to confess to all of us, why were your feet all torn up?
I don't know.
In Korean.
That's a long time ago, Jeffrey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Fred, and how many years I coach you guys? 1 year? Brooks?
Couple years. You were defensive back coach 1 year and the head defensive coach 1 year, weren't you?
No, Aaron Beavers was DB coach. Yeah. Yeah. That's been more, this is so unique just to this, and like everybody said, and man, you guys all look good though. Proud of you guys. Then you want to talk about Alex Ross. He's one of the cheapest guy I ever played against. He's a tough son of a gun, but man, he got me going so many times. I used to hate him. Now we're one of our best friends.
I used to torment Jay Woo like no other.
Yeah, you're the one of the biggest cheap shotter in the world.
Woo, what are you doing nowadays? Woo, what are you doing? Not right now.
But... No, I just kind of got done out of coaching, 4 years ago. Got sold all the business. So I just kind of work part-time and that's about it. Just hanging out with my wife, and kids are all gone. So the house has been kind of boring. So I do kind of miss coaching, but I'm glad I'm out of it. Especially like you said, you coach for so long. I really commend you guys that are coaches, and the influence that you guys had on the kids.
Amen to
Yeah,
that.
Coach.
Parents are crazy. Parents are crazy now. It's unbelievable, especially for you guys that are still in coaching high school.
Yeah,
unbelievable experience.
Yeah, totally different. Coach, Coach Wu, you were a defensive line coach in 1990 and the defensive coordinator in 91 when I was there. That's what I
Then I
remember.
left. Then I left to go to Augie in '92. That's right. Yeah. Then I came into Nightmare, seeing Brett and Mark Hansen and all those, Riggs and everybody. So, yeah.
Glad you can remember my name tonight, Coach.
Yeah, half the time I don't, do I? I still have a hard time, guys. How's Coach Young doing? You're doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you. I'm got my hip healed up pretty good. And
Did you have pie this week?
what's that?
Did you have a pie?
Yeah, we're about due to get together again, aren't we, with Brian?
Yeah, it was fun last week.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I can arrange that again.
I was gonna give you a call.
You're not too busy. What day is the best for you?
Any day after 11.
Okay.
I'll be napping or doing something. I don't know what.
So pie at lunch is okay, huh?
You'll do whatever. Yeah, afternoon. I'm available.
I got my vaccine shot today, so I'm a little less susceptible to the virus. So we got the first shot anyway.
Well, good for you. Hey, another thing about I got something from AJ on chat. Give us update on him, would you please?
Well, he's got a third site now, and
yeah, I heard that.
And they met with the oncologist. I don't know if AJ put something on.
Yeah, he did on Monday.
Let's see. He didn't do one after Tuesday or Wednesday, though. I haven't checked there on Caring Bridge, so I kind of find out from Melissa what's happening.
I think the last one was just Monday.
Yeah, Monday. Yeah.
But anyway, on Tuesday they had every Tuesday they have a meeting with the radiation oncologist. Okay, I'm not saying the right word, but anyway, it's the oncologist, and so they meet with him every Tuesday, and he thinks that third site is the one that's causing the damage now, because he's getting really so he's really weak on the right side. He can't. He's fallen several times because he can't get the right leg to move, and his right arm, he pretty much can't use that for any real good. So they're trying to figure out how, it's really a difficult situation because he can't really talk either. He can't put words together, like a text or write something down. And but he's got the right side there that's, he needs some help to get around, and he can't really use a walker because his right arm doesn't have any strength.
Well, why it took so long to find that?
Well, it's come on. It came on. It's not something that he had originally.
So he had that too. Then this thing came on.
I think the way the third site now, I think when they tried to put radiation on that third site, they might have possibly affected the the right side. That his tumor is very aggressive, and it's moving pretty fast. Until it's.
Well, I was reading about it. There been the last couple of days. The diagnosis that he has. Yeah, and I didn't know.
Anytime you hear grade 4, why that's not good.
Oh, I know, and that's why I had to kind of look through it. But yeah. Oh, there it is, right there, guys. Yeah. But well, tell him. Yeah, I better tell him we're just continue to pray for him and thinking about him.
Thank you. Yeah. Melissa really needs it too, because it's been tough on her, obviously, when you're trying to do everything, and trying to do the paperwork now for the future, disability stuff. And she was over here. She didn't go up this week. She stayed home and let her Chad's mom and Chad's brother went up with him this week.
Oh,
And then-
good.
So AJ and his wife went up on Monday and came back on Tuesday. So they were up there, which kind of gave them some help. But Melissa will go back up probably next week. But
Okay.
but
Dad,
Melissa
Dad, is Chad staying there all the time then? He's not traveling back and forth or?
he comes home on weekends.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah, they really, that blizzard we had on Friday.
Yeah.
Wow, did they have a hard time getting home through that thing? Some jackknife semis and stuff, but their son-in-law, Savannah's husband, left for the Marines.
Boy, I know it all happened all last
And
last
he
week.
left on Saturday morning, and they wanted to be down to greet him and send him off, and so
Did Savannah's
they wanted
doing
to get
okay?
home. They wanted to get home badly on Friday night, and
Sure.
he got stuck over by Worthington and couldn't move for about an hour because of the congestion, the traffic, semis jackknifed and so forth. So, but she has to drive, and and just a lot of different things that a wife, usually your husband takes care of a lot of that stuff, and so here she is. She was over here Monday, and we were going through a lot of the paperwork stuff that they have to fill out and so forth, and so it was good. She just liked to get away and to be away from it for a little while, but
Oh yeah,
anyway.
she needs a break too. Yeah. Yeah, when I was reading about it, how it's too much for one or two people. They say there just takes a lot of turns on family and stuff, with this diagnosis that when he got. So then I was like, yeah, and she showed poor Melissa then Savannah's husband takes out for a while, Oh well, just hate to hear news.
Josiah, hi Josiah.
Oh, is that him? I was wondering who that was.
Coach, how you doing? Jay Woo, long time, man.
Oh, I know. It's been a long time.
Last time I seen you, I think you was working at that bar doing some magic tricks for us.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, man, good to see you, Coach. Give Chad my best, praying for you guys and your whole family. I hope that things take a turn here. He gets better.
Josiah lives down in Tucson, right? Josiah, outside of Tucson.
Yes, sir.
Weather's pretty nice down there, I presume.
Yeah, it was a little rainy today, actually, but otherwise it's been like 75 or so, which has been.
You miss the snow. You can come this weekend. We're supposed to get to 4 to 6 inches.
Don't miss that snow at all.
Oh, we'll send you some.
Just maybe.
We'll put it in one of those freezers and send some of the vaccine with it.
Yeah, man.
Coach Anderson, you got anything to add to this group, this lively group here, or?
Yeah.
You kind of, now that you've got a lot of stuff from the past in here, you must be grateful that you've got a good group of guys. It's just no problems at all, right?
Well, it kind of makes me wonder who was running your academics back in the day, Coach, hearing some of these stories. But no, first of all, guys, thank you for letting me be a part of this and inviting me. And it's I've gotten to know a lot of you. And it's really interesting to hear your guys' stories and makes me feel good for what we're doing at the coup right now. And I think you guys would be proud. And I just told this, we're right in the middle of winding up recruiting. And I think when kids come and visit us, one of the things that we spend a lot of time talking about is our culture and our family. And the comments that I make were just absolutely 100% confirmed in hearing a story of some of you guys here. And I see it all the time when I connect with old guys. But what makes us, in my opinion, different is that we don't just say that these kids love each other. We don't just say that it's a family. It truly is. And you know, how does that happen? We got 100+ kids from, you know, all over the country, just like when you guys were playing, all different beliefs, all different backgrounds, and you put them in a locker room and put them in purple and tell them your family now or love each other, and you know, it doesn't just happen overnight. It happens because you know, quite frankly, my older guys know how to bring a group together. My older guys have that responsibility, and you know, you got to do certain things the right way. There's expectations, no doubt, but it's all done with the idea that the new guys got to grow up and be a part of this and feel welcomed. And they know that because they were taught that. And, you know, they were taught that from way back when. And I think there's a direct correlation to this group here tonight and other people that have been collecting that, you know, you guys got this thing started, and I hope you guys are proud with the way it's going. And the wins, losses are important too, but just the way that, you know, our number one selling point for recruits is family at the coup. And it's not me selling it. It's not my coaches selling it. It's when players come and visit, they hear that from our current players. And I think that's just, like I said, a direct correlation to what you guys were able to do and start it and keep it going. And I want you all to know that it's still going today. So we appreciate that. When we're living and breathing coup football on a daily basis, you guys are still impactful, and it makes me feel good to be able to hear that tonight from you guys. So appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. I guess that's the thing that I'm most proud about is the way that pretty much every coach that I mean, every coach that came after me, I mean, including you, you've really bought into the philosophy of what we tried to establish back in the 80s and 90s and so forth with a bunch of these guys that are on here, you know, and you can kind of see the results. And for you to continue that culture and that philosophy, it really makes me proud. So thanks for doing that. It's something good to see when you leave a program, you know, and you're done coaching in that program. Often coaches come in and they want to change everything, and as a result, the program a lot of times has to restart all over again, you know, and it takes a while for that to happen. It doesn't mean that it can't happen, but still, I think there's been you know, a culture that's been established that I really am proud of. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Craig Clayburg, I want to say congratulations to you on your state championship. Golly, how many have you got now?
Thanks, Coach. This is our second one.
Second?
Second one, yep.
You've done
A
well
really
out
good,
there.
really good group of kids this year. So
Yeah, well, you're humble. It takes a coach to put them together too. To recognize that,
really good
right?
staff. So it's fun to do.
Ed Kester, you're sitting there pretty quiet tonight.
Sorry, I had 7 hours of online meetings today.
Oh.
So I'm a little tired, but I just, Coach, I just listening to Brian and the group that kind of came after us was really cool. I didn't know that stuff was going on with the other group. And I think every single guy that's on this this meeting and every guy that's not on this meeting that played football for Bob Young came in as in different ways. We weren't real good kids when we showed up, with the exception of Sproles, I guess. But something changed when we were there, and it had a lot to do with the other guys on the team, but all grew from our head football coach. And just Coach Young, you're just the guy that reflects the love of Jesus Christ to everyone that they encounter. And I hurt for you on what you're going through with your family right now. I hurt for you with what you went through with your lifelong love of your life. And you mean so much to all of us. And it's just really, really cool to do this and just to see you. We all love you to death, Coach. So this is really cool. Thanks a lot, Brian, for sharing that stuff and all you other guys.
Thank you, Ed. Very kind comments. And I keep thinking about Romans 8:28. All things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose, you know. And I think about, okay, what does that really mean, you know? And we've kind of studied that lately and trying to think of the good that's, you know, coming out of all of this. It's been a tough year, obviously, for our family, you know, with losing my wife, and then my sister died 2 days before we had the memorial service for my wife, and Chad wins the state championship, and 2 weeks later he's got a seizure and laying in the ER at the hospital and diagnosed with a brain tumor, and it's got it's one of the worst ones you could have. It's stage 4, and so you just keep thinking, God, what's in all of this, you know? And it's been kind of tough to you know, I don't know how to put it, but you guys know what I mean. I think Brad interpret that for me, will you, Brad Schroeder?
No, Coach. Yeah, it's just
you lost your dad. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, Coach. I just feel like we should stop and pray for you and your family right now. Would you mind if we did that?
No, that'll be fine. Appreciate it.
Father, we know it's been a tough year for Coach Young and his family, all his family, losing Diane, losing his sister, and now Chad going through this very tough ordeal. Father, we pray that you'd be with their family. We pray that you would strengthen them. We pray that you'd be with Chad and the doctors that are helping him right now, and the family. And we just pray for strength that only you can provide through this very, very tough season. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That meant a lot. You did. Well, it's 9:22. Or you want to? Anybody got some large comments to make there? Bob Booth, you haven't said a lot tonight, but give you one more chance.
This has been an interesting night, kind of like what Ed said. Just hearing stories from I took a little offense to the word era. That I think Brian used, the previous era. That made me feel really old. It wasn't that many years, but it was interesting hearing some of those stories. And Brad, thank you for those kind words for Coach. But it was really interesting to hear the bond that you guys had, coming in after. And there's always, those transitional years. I look at my situation, I look at this board of people, and when I came in, Woo and Alex were, the two that were kind of those, well, Woo, not really an upperclassman. He's too short to be an upperclassman, but, he was there and Alex was there. And then when I leave, it's the other end of things with, people like Folkers and things that carry over to that next group of people coming in. And, it's this kind of an endless cycle of relationships that, that we develop over the years, and something like this kind of helps bridge the gap between some of those eras. And it's just really neat to hear. And I'm looking forward to coming out next fall. Coach Anderson, I'm not sure if you're still on the phone, but look forward to a big win next year for homecoming. I just request that now.
We can do that.
Okay. Really appreciate that. But no, this has just been really fun, seeing people like Zim that I haven't seen for, probably since I left campus. To be able to see him on screen is pretty cool. I've kept in touch with Ed over the years and kind of developing, I think, probably more of a relationship now with Chad than I did even when we were teammates, which is really, really neat to see. So just appreciate everything and echo the words that everyone's already said.
Tarski, you got anything to add in here? Out there?
I could start a whole nother conversation that probably would last another hour and a half, but I'll end with this because I was thinking of this when Coach Anderson was talking. having been one of the people that's left and come back at the coup, John, what were the years that you coached in, before when you came back now as head coach?
Is that a question for me? I didn't hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question was, what years were you there to begin with and then come back as head coach?
Coach hired me in spring of 2002, and my last year there as an assistant coach was the 2012 season. So, and then came back in December of 16. So there was 4 years that I was gone.
Cool. Glad you're back.
Thank you.
Rem, you've been really quiet now. We're gonna turn it over to you here, kind of to maybe wrap this thing up tonight or whatever, okay? But at least give everybody a chance to. You're down in Texas, right? You've already told the guys kind of what you're doing, I guess.
I'm in Abilene, Texas, following a professional trapper around with a camera. So kind of a little different. You might think that I used to do an outdoor show on ESPN. So one of the outdoor hunting and fishing shows. So it's kind of up my alley. Got a show going on Pursuit Channel called We Be Trapline Adventures with the Trapper. It's a 30-minute trapping show. Just got picked up by Wild Canada TV, and we're going to be on Mojo TV, Mo TV, something like that. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing down here. Just echoing what everyone else said, I guess. When Keith Anderson and Steve Young were on a few weeks ago, Keith called me the next day or sent me an email and said something that was really important about this group. He said it was anointed by God. And I just felt like that was the most powerful thing anyone could ever say about this group of people. We're truly anointed by God, and we're all brought together by Coach Young. Man, is there anything any more cool than that? I just can't get it out of my head. It just keeps rolling through my head all the time. Every time we meet, all I can do is see all your faces and say, hey, we're anointed by God. I mean, that's things with burning bushes and people being blinded on roads to Damascus and things like that. But that's just us, you know. We all met together in a locker room, you know, and here we are 32 years later, 34 years later, getting together for one common goal, and that's just to be together, to strengthen each other, and to be there for Coach Young. So that's how I'm going to close this out tonight. So it's really great to see some people I haven't seen for a long time. Good to see you back on, Brian. Fred, I only see you at golf tournaments, so good to see you here. Craig, I've been following you at T. Great job. It's always fun to see you. Lamont, so good to see you. Thanks for sending me your phone number. Coach Anderson, Woo, good to see you. I remember I came in as a freshman and Woo was a sophomore and played together for 3 years. Then he was a coach, and one day in practice, I called him Woo, and he made me do up downs for about 20 minutes for calling him Woo and not coach. I still love you though.
Same here, buddy.
All right, take care, everyone. We'll shut her down, and I'll get this up on YouTube here in the next few days.
Steve, I'm going to ask Steve to lead us in a word of prayer here at the end. Would you, brother, son Steve?
Lord, we're grateful for chances to be together. We're thankful for technology that brings us together over many miles, can make us feel connected in a way that's so unique. And I just pray for each one here, and each one represents a web of relationships of impact. And I pray that each one would not forget that there's something big you create out of small things. And Lord knows we all do feel small sometimes, and yet you take small stuff and you weave a lot with that. And this call tonight across the years is evidence of that. So may we never forget the things that you want to do in and through your lives and through our lives, and that you never stop with us, and you're always working on completing us and working through us. So thanks for these guys. Bless each one in your name, Lord Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, guys.
Dad, you want to say hi to your
Thanks
dad?
for
You want
being on
to
tonight. Really
Dad? You want to
appreciate
say
it.
hi to your daughter-in-law?
Yeah, Pam there.
Is she?
She's home for, bye, Pam.
I just finished my book club Zoom.
So she was
Good to
zooming
have
in
you
one
home
room. I
from
was zooming in
Hawaii
the
or-
other.
Where have you been this week? Hawaii or what?
Yeah, I was in Hawaii and then I go to Phoenix tomorrow, but I don't stay. I just do a turn. So
Isn't that tough to see where she goes?
just in and out.
Then 2 Fort Myers trips back to back.
Next week is Fort Myers.
Oh, poor Pam.
It's all been good because it's warm. It's right. It's
I
nice.
think I'll come up there and fly down to Fort Myers with you.
That sounds good.
Good to see you guys.
Wait till COVID's
All
over
right.
though.
Good night.
Okay, bye.
Good night.
Aloha.